Hello friends, welcome to my channel. So today we are going to discuss about taint and tolerance. Okay, so let's go. Sorry for my voice, little bit cold. Okay, so let's go. If you go to the Google basically and you type Kubernetes, right there you can find all the document, all the YAML files, related documents, okay, and other details. Okay, so if I type here taint and search for taints. So you can see this page, it will show you all the information related to taint and tolerance. Okay, so let's start. So let me show you the nodes. So I have two nodes, one master and one worker nodes. Okay, I'm running on version 1.13 Kubernetes version. And just to remind that I have set an alias for kubectl command. So the alias I have set is OC. So whenever I type OC get nodes, right? So it will take from the alias and it will come to know that okay, OC is kubelet. So it will uh, instead of OC it will take as kubelet. So the command will work as you can see. So we have two nodes, okay. So let's see if we have any taints or not. So let me prescribe nodes and see if I have any taint. Okay, as you can see, we don't have any taints right now. So it won't basically impact the scheduling of the pods. So why the taint is used? Basically, taint is used to limit the pods, to be scheduled on particular nodes. Only the pods which will have the tolerance, they can be scheduled on that particular node. So you can limit the basically the scheduling of the pods with the help of the taints. Okay. So as you can see, we don't have any taint. So if we try to deploy any app, right, or pod, it will be deployed without any issue. Let me show you. Let's go to my work directory. So here I already have an deployment created. Okay. So this is the deployment. So now from where you will get this YAML file, right? So you can go here and the same way you have to go this Kubernetes .io docs page and you have to search for the deployment. Okay, let me search again for you. So once you search for the deployment, you can see this option, right? So once you click on it, you will see all the details related to the deployment file. So here you can see this is the default YAML file for the deployment. Okay, so I have taken this deployment file. Okay. So as you can see, there are three replicas. Okay, let me change. No replicas, I don't want three replicas, so I'll just change it to two. Okay. So let's quickly go through the deployment. So if you see the kind is deployment, the name is nginx deployment. Okay, and the label is app nginx. So replicas we have set to two, and this is the match label. Basically, this is to so which pods this deployment will be managing, right? So it will match these labels. So these both label must be same, right? Otherwise, it won't work because deployment is creating the pods with the same names, sorry, labels, and it will try to manage those pods with the same labels, right? So you can see the template. These are the labels, okay. And then we have specs. Under specs, the name of the container is nginx, and then image will be nginx. So this is image pull policy. If not present, then only it will try to download the image. If it is locally, then it will not download. That's fine. So I have assigned the tolerance as well, but it won't help right now. Just ignore this. Okay. We'll discuss this later. So let me do a OC apply F and then nginx deployment. So the deployment is created. So if you see the ports, okay, we can see the ports are getting scheduled on master and worker. Okay, so we have two nodes. So what it did, it scheduled one port on master and one on worker. Okay, so because I removed all the taints, right? So there is no, by default, even on master there is a taint. So if you want to schedule on master, it won't work basically. So I just remove those taint and then started working. Okay. So right now there is no issue, right? So let's do a OC describe on the ports and see. So I just want to see the taint tolerance information. Let's see if we have anything. So you see, this is the toleration that is defined in the pod. Okay. If you see, we have only this, we have defined only this tolerance, right? Apart from this, these two are the default uh, tolerance that are added by the system. Okay, basically. So if you see, this shows that if the node is not ready, right, then it will basically do the operation as no execute, and then this is the operator. If it is already exist, then it will wait for 300 seconds and it will basically evacuate this pod. So why this is done? So if you know in a network, right? I mean, in a cloud environment or any big network, there can be temporary network issues, right? So let's assume if you have a big cluster, right, and a big production network, and due to some small fluctuation, right, if pod are getting evacuated and again and again, right, uh, due to this network fluctuation, then it will create an issue, right? So just to avoid that, so there is a default timer that is set. So let's say if the node has become not ready, then it will wait for 5 minutes or 300 seconds. Then it will start basically evacuating the pods. Okay. So these are the default uh, toleration that is applied. So this is for not ready and one is for not reachable. So there are two cases, right? Not ready means the node itself is not able to communicate with the controller. Okay, and under unreachable, so the controller node is not able to reach to this node, right? So there are two different things. So if it is unreachable, then also it will do a no execute. So these are the types basically. So we'll discuss this later. What does this mean? This no execute. So basically it will evacuate and then it will go for again 5 minutes. I mean the same timer. So this operator is always, I mean, exist if it is already there. There are two operators, so we will discuss these as well. So let me clear this. So right now this tolerance has no value, okay, because uh, there is no taint, right? So tolerance does not, I mean, disable scheduling of the pods. It just tells the pod, okay, if there is no node available, right? Or if the node has this taint, right? Then it will try to schedule on that pod. Otherwise, it can schedule on any other node as well. It does not limit the pod to be get scheduled on a particular node. It does not guarantee. Okay, just make sure that. So it just added a tolerance that if there is some pod which is having this taint applied, then this pod will get scheduled because it has the tolerance. Okay, it can be at that taint, then only it will get scheduled. Okay, let's clear it. So hyphen override. So we have to put. So let's do one thing. Let's try to taint our node. Okay. So if you go to the again the taint page, then you can see this is the command to apply the taints. Okay. So we will take this command and let's do. So it's simple command, as you can see, kubectl taint nodes. Then we have to give the name of the node on which we want to apply the taint. So let's do it on master, and then it's a key value pair basically. So let me give role, and the value will be, it's a master and no schedule. Okay, let's do. If you see now, the taint is applied, right? If we add 2a OC describe taint grep I1 taint, we can also describe taint grep. Okay, sorry, it is not right, not taint. So as you can see, the taint is applied on the master node. So worker doesn't have any taint. So now we have applied the taint. Let's see. OC get -o Okay, now what does this NoSchedule does? It will basically apply the taint on the node. Okay, it will apply the taint, but it will not evacuate the pods. Okay, until unless I mean the pod is getting deleted, right? So it will basically all the new pods won't be getting scheduled if they don't have the tolerance for this taint. So if you can see, our pod was already sitting, right? So it is not scheduled here. I mean it is scheduled here. So if we delete, uh, it will be again scheduled, but let me show the YAML file. Okay, that will be easy. We have already applied the tolerance, if you see here, right, to the pod. So it will get scheduled on that master node. Okay. So what will I do? I need to remove this tolerance. Okay, first let's see that it has the taint, right? So it should get basically scheduled on this node, right? On the master node. So let me do one thing. Let's try to delete this pod and see. If I delete, it will again be scheduled on this master node. If you see, I deleted this pod, right? It was on master node, but again the pod is created and it has sit on the master node. Why? Because the taunt it matched the taint, right? The taint and tolerance both matches. If I describe this pod, right? So you can see we have this tolerance applied. Okay, that is matching. So that's why it got scheduled here. Okay. So now how you remove a taint basically. So it's very simple basically. So just you get the taint details. So let me do. So this is the taint, right? So you simple command OC taint node master 0 and then copy this taint value and put a minus sign in the end. Then it will remove the taint. As you can see, node master 0 is untainted. Okay. If I do the same command again to describe it, you can see there are no taints. Okay. So this is how you remove a taint basically. So what I'll do, I'll just apply the taint again because we need it. Now we have what we did, we have applied the NoSchedule. Okay. Now let's discuss about this tolerance. Okay. So if I do a cat on nginx F1 deployment. So as I mentioned earlier, if there is a taint on the node, then the pod must have the toleration. So the taint is defined in the key value pair, right? If you remember that we run this command to add a taint on the master node. So it is a key value pair, and then you have the action. Okay, what will be the action? So it is NoSchedule. So this is the toleration YAML file basically that we will add to the pod. So it will have the toleration, and then under toleration you will define the key and the values. Okay, the key values, and this is the operator. Uh, so it depends. Okay, if you want to give the operator or not. By default it is always exist. So if you give equal, what is the difference here? If you give equal, right, then this key and value both should match. If one of them is not matching, then it will not basically schedule the pod. Okay, so both should match. And if you have exist, then I mean you don't have to mention this key value. Without, if you don't give this key value, right, then also it will apply the taint only with the key. I mean value, it doesn't matter if it matches the value. Okay, so in my case I have given both the key and value, right, but it does not matter, so I can remove this value. Okay, so as you can see, it has mentioned here the operator is exist. Okay, so if it is exist, right, you don't have to mention any values. Or if operator is equal, then the value should be equal. Okay, then it should match the values. Okay, so this is how you basically define it. Now this is clear. Let me clear it. Okay, so now let's see. We have the ports defined on master and worker nodes. Okay, and so what else we can check? I'm just trying to see what else we can check. Okay, let's now do one thing. This worker node, okay, it does not have any taint, right? So the pod is getting scheduled overall. So let's do one thing. Let's try to add taint on this worker node, and then we will try to delete this pod, and it will be not scheduled on this worker node, right? It will go to the master node only. So let me node. So let's see worker 0 key. Let's do key to role, and let me give the value to worker. Okay, and let's do a NoSchedule. So now there are three types. Okay, the effect is NoSchedule, NoExecute, and then PreferNoSchedule. Okay, so there are three types of effects. Where it is, let me see. It will be somewhere here, but so the difference here is basically if you have NoSchedule, right, then it will limit the new pods to be not getting scheduled on that node. Basically the existing pods will not get be evacuated. If there is no execute, then it will basically mark it as unscheduled, and also it will evict the existing pods. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let me do this as no execute. Okay, and let's see if the pod gets auto evicted, because last time when we did no schedule, right, so pod didn't get evicted, so we manually did it. So let's see if this theory is correct. So let's try instead of no schedule. So once I apply this taint, right? So this pod, this one, the 7WRH2, it should be auto evicted, right? We should not be evicting this. Let's see. If you see, the pods get automatically evicted, right? You can see all the new pod is created and it is getting scheduled on master 0. So basically no schedule only limits the scheduling of the new pods, but no execute, it also evicts the pods. So basically it's a hard rule, okay? And the third one is your prefer not schedule. So it is the soft one. So basically it will apply the taint, but if there is no other node, right, to be for the scheduling, basically if there are no other node, then it will say okay, you can schedule with me as well, but will I mean it will be used as the last option. But in case of no scheduling, it will not schedule until the pod have the taint, and no execute, it will evacuate the pod. Okay, so this theory also is proved. Now we have both the pods sitting on the master node. Okay, now what else we can check? New pods. So let's do one thing. Now both, okay. So now let's do one thing. Let's see, get nodes clear. So now let's see which taints are there. Nodes. So as you can see now both our pods are sitting on master nodes and it has the taint. Okay. So let me do one thing. Now let's make this master node as no scheduled. Okay. So I will just do a cordon and see if the, so what I want to see if the pods are getting scheduled on the worker node or not. Okay. OC cordon master 0. Let's see. Okay, OC get node. So now new pods won't sit here. Okay. So we have cordon the node. As you can see, scheduling is disabled. So if I see OC get pods -o white, so both the pods will still be there because uh, uncordon basically when we do a cordon, right, it will limit the new pods to sit on this node. The existing pod will be there. So to remove these pods, either we can do a drain or we can delete this pod. Okay, so let me quickly go and delete these pods. We just wanted to see there is no taint. We don't have any tolerance for this worker node, right? So these pods should not be getting basically deployed on the worker node. So they must be in the pending state always. Okay, as you can see, it is showing pending, and if I describe it, right, or say describe pods, we can see the error why it is failing. So you can see, right, so it is using the default scheduler. So 0/2 nodes are available. So we have two nodes, so both are available. One node had intolerant taint. Okay, so one node had intolerant taint. So this is our worker node because we haven't applied the tolerance, right, for this node, worker node. So node is there, but it doesn't have the tolerance. We don't have the tolerance. So why, that's why it is showing intolerant taint. And we have one master node which we have disabled the scheduling, right? So it is showing that one nodes were unscheduled. Okay, so because scheduling is disabled, so it cannot be scheduled over there. So 0/2 nodes are available. So both the nodes are not available. 0/2 means a 0 is available out of 2. Okay. So let me do one thing. Let's try to patch this deployment. This is deployment, right? So we can edit the deployment. So we will edit the deployment and we will change the tolerance. So let's see now if it will get scheduled on the worker nodes. So OC edit and then we have nginx deployment. So this is a command OC edit, how you edit a deployment file. So most of the things we can edit via this command, but not all the things. So status condition, this is status container, where it is, where is tolerance? Sorry, tolerance. Okay, yeah, this is the tolerance. So now let me change this value to worker. Okay, so now our deployment is edited. If I do OC-cat pods, you see the new pods are getting created, right? So let's wait for some time. We'll have to wait for some time, or we can delete these pods. Okay. Hmm. Why this has come? OC edit 3. Why it is showing me 3? I made it 2, right? Replicas. OC deployment. Okay, replicas is 2. OC get ports. OC get ports. Let me see. OC describe. We have given the right tent, right? OC describe. Okay. It will not schedule. Okay. Why? Okay. This is very interesting now. Okay. Let me show you. OC get ports. OC describe ports. If you see why. Again, it still shows, right, that one node had untolerant taints. But why am I mean, we did apply it, right? So there is some mistake in our taint. So if we do AOC describe ports and then grep -I toleration it should be fine. So you can see we have given no schedule, right? But what is the taint that we applied on this worker node? So let me describe, OC describe node worker 0. If you see, the taint is having a no execute value, right? And we have given the no schedule. So that is the reason it is not getting scheduled. So either we can change the taint on the worker node or on the pod side, right? So let me change it on our deployment. Okay. So vim OC edit deployment nginx, then search for tolerance. Okay, and then let me do a no execute. Spelling is correct, right? No execute. No execute. Okay, it's correct. So once I save this and do AOC get ports, now see, voila, our ports are getting scheduled now. And if we see, both the ports are getting scheduled on the worker node. Why they are not getting schedule on master? Because what we removed the tolerance, right? So if you want, we can add more uh, tolerance as well. Okay, so if you want to add, let's we can do via OC edit command and let's try to add the tolerance. Okay, OC edit deployments is toleration specs. We have yeah. So let's say if we want to add, right, we can just do copy paste and let's paste here. Okay, so this will be master. So we have to make another entry and under tolerance, right? So this is for worker and this is for master. It was no schedule, right? It was no schedule. Yeah, that's correct. So I have applied both the taints. Now let's see the pods. So to change this, right, I mean, we have to manually evacuate one of the pods and see. So let's see, also delete pods and then OC get pods -o white. So it is taking by default this worker node only, okay, because we have applied both the taints. So how can we make this sit on the worker nodes? Anyway, I mean, that is fine. So OC get pod -o, what else we can check here? So we discuss about the effects. Now we can check with the effects, right? You can add the operators and see. If we add the operator, right, equal, then both key and value should match, right? So we can check this one as well. So let's see. OC edit deployment. So this is our worker node, right? And right now the pods are getting scheduled on this worker node. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's try to add this operator. Okay, so if the operator is equal, then key and value both should match, right? So what I'll do, I'll change this value to worker node. So if I change this, then what will happen? The pods will not get scheduled here and they should auto evacuate, right? Because it is having the effect of no execute. So all the existing pods will also get evicted. So let's see if this works. And after that, pod should go to the master node, right? So -o white. Okay, let's see. Okay, so do I need to OC rollout? Restart deployment and see how she get ports. Okay, so now what we did, we define the value different one, but the existing ports are not getting evacuated. Okay, this is strange. Why? First, let me remove this, the second tent. Okay, the master one, and let's see how she deployments. nginx deployment. Let's remove this and see if it is creating the issues. Okay, now we have only one tolerance applied with effect no execute key role and operator is equal, so both should match. Okay, OC get ports. What does this port says? OC described port. Okay, so basically what it does, it is trying to create the new port but is not getting created. But the old port, it is not getting deleted. Okay, so let me try to delete the port and see OC delete ports and see what happens. OC get ports. Okay, so -o white. Okay, this is strange. Okay, so okay, these are sitting on worker nodes only. Okay, and if we see also describe node grab python I taint. Okay, there is one more thing that we disable this, right? We have uncoded the master node, so I need to uncodon it. That was also one thing that I forgot to do. Okay, clear. Okay, now if we see, yeah, so this is role master. Now it is fine. So it has the no execute and role is equal to worker -o white. But we change it, right? We change the value and we have given the operator equal to, but still why it is getting. Let's do a describe on this board and see. What's it describe? Grep hyphen tolerance. What's it describe parts? Okay. Okay, I deleted this another taint, right? But why it is coming this tolerance, master tolerance? Not sure. Okay, let me check the deployment again. What is the we added, but it's still taking this tolerance from master one, and it is taking this old. See, we changed the values to worker one, right? But it is still not taking it. It is taking the old. It seems like it doesn't work. Okay, we have defined it here, right? But it still is not taking. Okay. So it is taking the old attained, but why? If I delete the deployment, then even then it will take. Let me delete all the pods and see. Clear OC get pods -o white. Okay, now if you see, it is changed to master 0. That is fine. I mean, it is taking again the old taint, right? That is the reason it is going to. So it will be taking the master because we removed from the when we edited the deployment, right? We removed this, but still in the pod it is taking that grep hyphen I. Yeah, see, it is taking the old one. Okay, let's do a OC rollout. Restart. Restart deployment. Restarted OC rollout history deployment. Okay, there is no revision history. Okay. OC get pods iPhone wide. Okay, I think we need to delete the deployment and we'll have to do it again. So it seems like it's not taking. So let me do one thing. OC delete deployment nginx deployment. Okay, and let me edit this. Interesting. Okay, so we have to give the effect operator to equal effect is value is, let's make it worker one. Okay, now I have given the wrong values, right? And this is equal and this should be no execute, right? This is what we defined on the node. So let's see the taint applied on our nodes. Describe grep hyphen I taint. So these are the taint, right? This is on master. This is no schedule, and on worker we have no execute. Okay, so if we apply no seeing at pods, so it should be in pending state. Okay, the reason is why, because so we have applied a tolerance, right, for our worker node, but we have given the wrong value, worker one, and we have defined the operator to be exist, right? Sorry, the equal operator is equal, so both the value should match, the value key should match. If it is not matching, then it will not deploy the node pod basically. And we have one more node, right, master node, but there is a taint right on the master node and we didn't define any tolerance for that master node, so that is the reason it is not getting scheduled. So if I do a OC describe pods and see why it is not getting scheduled, right? So again, if you see the same thing, one node had untolerant taint and as master also had untolerant taint. Okay. So this is for master and this is for worker, both have untolerant because we have defined worker one, that is the reason. And if we go here, you can see the role we have defined worker. Okay, so this is the reason it is not getting deployed. So now, as I mentioned earlier, right, with OC added we can do changes but not all the changes. So seems like this taint toleration setting that we are doing with the edit, it's not working. Okay, so we need to again recreate the deployment basically. So now let's do one thing. Let's delete again the deployment. Now we want to schedule the pods in this case to the master only. Let's see if it is happening. So we will define the another tolerance. So let's go to Vim, our deployment file, and let's copy this. and define the second tolerance. Role will be, value will be master. So this time I will give the exact value. Okay. Operator I will give exist because I don't want to match the values anyway. Okay. If I want to match, I can give because I'm giving the I mean exact values, right? So it does not matter. So let it be equal only because my both the values are matching. And effect is no schedule. Okay. So now let's go out and save it. So it's fine now. Let's OC apply -f. Now let's see if our pods are getting scheduled to the master node. Okay. OC get pods -o white. As you can see now, our both the pods are getting scheduled on the master node because it matches the tolerance. Okay. So this is basically, guys, how we work with the taint and tolerance. So we discuss about how the taint works and how basically you can avoid pods to getting scheduled on the particular node with the help of taints, and then with the help of tolerance you can allow pods to get scheduled on that node. Then we discuss about the effects. There are three effects: no schedule, no execute, and preferred or schedule. So we discuss about these three, right? So under no schedule, basically it will mark the scheduling as disabled for the new ports, but existing ports will stay there if they have the same taint until they are rebooted, right? And under no execute, it will mark the scheduling disabled and it will auto evacuate all the existing port as well. So this is the difference between these two. And under prefer no schedule, basically it will still I mean it will mark scheduling disabled, but still I mean if there is no other node, then it will try to deploy on the same node. Okay. So it is a kind of soft role. This we didn't discuss, right? So we can check this as well. I mean this will be our last part. So right now we have all the pods on our master node, right? So let's do check the taints again. Grep-i taint, grep-i taint, and these are the taints that are on the nodes, master and worker nodes. Okay. So let's do one thing. Let me cordon this node, okay, our one worker node. So there won't be any node, and then we will try to use the third setting. Then also in that case, it should get scheduled in the master node, right? So OC cordon node cordon worker 0. Okay. OC get node. If I check, you can see the scheduling is disabled now. Okay. So we have now only one node, that is our master node, where the pod can get scheduled, right? So let's do one thing. Let's delete the deployment again. Okay, now let's edit this deployment file, and instead of no schedule, let's change it to PreferNoSchedule. Okay, so the same thing we need to change on the worker node as well, because right now sorry, on the master node, because right now it has no schedule, right? So both are not matching. So let me OC taint node master 0. Let me first remove this and then apply this new taint. Okay, so it is untainted. Then let me taint this with this role. Okay, what happened? Okay, some spelling, some mistake in copying. let me copy this, and then I'll copy this PreferNoSchedule. Okay, so let's see. So now you can see the master node is having this taint, right? PreferNoSchedule. Now there is no worker node, right? So if the tolerance does not match, right, then it should basically okay, but I need to delete the tolerance, right? I need to delete the taint because there won't be any tolerance slide, but still it will try to deploy it here. Okay, let's, instead of doing this, let me just change the value. Okay, then it won't match, right? Now let's apply -f and -inx deployment, get ports. You can see the pods are getting scheduled on master nodes, but why? We don't have the tolerance, right? But still it got deployed because this prefer node schedule is soft one. If there is no other node, then it will try to still deploy on the same node. Okay, so as you can see, I mean, if I do OC get node, right, you can see this, our worker is scheduling is disabled, right? So no ports can be scheduled over this. So we have only one master zero node, and master zero node is having this taint. Okay, but still the pod gets deployed here without the tolerance. Okay, if you want, I can remove all the taints and show you. Okay, let's do that. Okay, let me delete all the tolerance, then you will be able to see it. So let's remove all the tolerance. Okay, so if you can see, I have removed all the tolerance, right? OC apply NGXI deployment. As you can see, the pods are still getting deployed, right? Even though I mean there is a taint on the master node, right? But still it got deployed over there because it is having PreferNoSchedule effect. Okay, so guys, I think this is all for today. I hope you will like this, and it will help you to, I mean, to learn the taint and tolerance, how we applied different types of effects, and the key value pair, how we match them, right? So I hope you enjoyed this. Maybe we will see in the next video. So thanks guys, keep practicing, keep learning. So we will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching this. Thanks, bye.